and off the road a bit ago. But now Unser's on the brakes too hard and almost runs into Andretti as he goes into the infield. Andretti and Surtees got by Unser. Here Jerry Grant goes by, dropping Unser to 6th place. Andretti now challenges Surtees. It's a close battle. A championship is at stake, and Mario wants to win it. He's going to have to move up because A.J. Foyt is still within striking distance behind him. An exceptionally fast race. The speed's high. Gordon Johncock, one of the 3 drivers in contention for the national championship, in the pits, obviously with trouble. And he's getting out of the car, which means whatever the trouble is, it's of a serious nature. A tough break for the little boy from Hastings, Michigan. And A.J. Foyt's pit crew signals that he's now in 7th position. Now, here's Johncock. A disappointingly short day for you, Gordon. What was the problem?
Something wrong with our shifting mechanism. We must have twisted off a shaft or something, but she won't shift at all.
Disappointed?
Yes, I am.
And there's Gurney off the road. What do you think happened, Roger?
Well, there's a little oil out there, Chris, and probably he was trying just a little too hard.
He got back on right away, though, and that, of course, gave Jim Clark the lead, and the fans are jumping now. Clark out in front, Gurney now in 2nd place, trying to play catch-up. Around the corner, the protagonists for the championship, Mario Andretti, number 1, A.J. Foyt, number 14, and Jerry Grant splitting the action there. Clark's car appears to be smoking, and Gurney is going back into the lead. Oh, what an automobile race we've got here at Riverside today. Gurney off the road, out of the lead, and then Clark having mechanical trouble putting Gurney back into the number 1 position. Tough break for both, but more tough for Jim Clark. And it looks like oil down there, Roger.
Well, there certainly is. Some of that could be coming from Jimmy's car, but there was some there before.
And here the men fighting for the title. A.J. Foyt trying to take Mario Andretti on the outside. The rich national championship at stake in this race today. Foyt trying hard to nose ahead of Andretti, but Andretti out-accelerates him down the pit straightaway. Turn 1. Over the bridge and into turn 2.
And here comes Clark into the pits. Let's see what his trouble is.
A tough break for the Scotsman who won the 1965 Indianapolis 500. He's got a lot of fans here in the United States. Rolf Alstedt, the owner, goes over to ask him, and now they're looking the car over.
He doesn't appear to be getting out, so perhaps it's something minor that they could fix.
Well, we certainly hope so. Checking the engine over. Of course, the smoke was an indication that the problem did come from within the engine. Clark looks a little disappointed. And there's Bill Fowler telling Dan Gurney he's got a 22-second lead over Roger McCluskey in 2nd place. And now Jim Clark is out of the car. We're going over to see if we can't get a word with him. Lots of action on that one lap. Jimmy, what all happened?
Well, we went into it as usual. There's a lot of oil around, and got to the end of the S's, and Dan went straight off before we got to turn 6 up the bank, and I got through all right in the lead, and as I came out of 6, I noticed the engine wasn't on 8, so I just had to keep on going anyway, and I was well clear of Dan by this time, but it wasn't running, you know. So I did one more lap and came in.
A wise decision, Chris. If he'd have stayed out there much longer, he'd have destroyed a $23,000 engine.
Well, Dan Gurney is leading and Roger McCluskey is 2nd, and those 2 battlers for the national championship, Mario Andretti and A.J. Foyt, 3rd and 4th. We'll be back for more of the exciting championship race action, but now let's go to Vienna, Austria, and Jim McKay. This is Chris Economaki, along with Roger Ward at the Riverside International Raceway in California, where the season's ending championship race is in progress. Roger, how do you like it?
Well, Rick, Chris, when I see those gentlemen out there going, I was out there with them.
Fine. And now let's check the standings. And the Eagles are doing well, holding 4 of the top 6 positions. Leading is Dan Gurney in car 48, the Olsenite Eagle. 2nd place in car number 12, the G.C. Murphy Eagle, Roger McCluskey, a good bit behind Gurney. And in 3rd and 4th place is the 2 drivers fighting for the national championship, and fighting they are. Mario Andretti in car number 1, a Bronner-built car, and A.J. Foyt in car number 14, the Sheraton Thompson Coyote. And what a race they're putting on. In fifth position in the Tom Friedkin Eagle, number 78, it's sports car driver Jerry Grant. And in sixth place, in car number 6, the Rislone Eagle, it's Bobby Unser. And now Unser gets a Grant, try and move into the number 5 position, and move in he does, going into turn 9. Bobby likes that braking point on turn 9. He's had an interesting day out here, hasn't he, Roger?
He certainly had. He's been up and down, but after a somewhat shaky start, he's doing a really great job now and moving into contention. Another driver that's doing a great job is Lloyd Ruby in the American Red Ball Special, number 25. He got off to a rather poor start by spinning out, but he's moved back into contention.
Gurney's engine is one of his own designs, and he can be quite proud of its performance here. McCluskey's car is using a 4-cam Ford engine and trying to stay behind Gurney. Andretti now in third place in the number 1 car. And here's Bobby Unser trying for a spot ahead of A.J. Foyt in that same place he likes to do his passing, and he gets by. So Bobby Unser moves past A.J. Foyt, moving him down in that battle for the championship. Unser's an experienced driver, many-time winner of Pikes Peak, drives on the sprint car circuit. Before the race, we had a chance to talk to him.
What about the race today, Bobby? It's going to be an interesting one. What do you think the big problems that our fellows will face will be?
Well, I think the big problem is going to be finishing 300 miles. We just figured up, looks like we're going to be shifting around 1,200 times here, and that can't be too easy on the transmission and on the clutch and all in the car, so I think it'll be very hard on the cars. 300 miles on these things is pretty long way, especially when you're shifting.
And tough on the palms of your hands, eh, Roger?
It certainly is. Shifting that many times, a person could get a few blisters.
Whoa! And here's Lloyd Ruby dirt tracking it on the outside of a corner. He could use knobby tires there for a moment. He's really had his foot to the floor in this number 25 American Red Ball Special since that first lap spin. And what's that? A.J. Foyt! And look at that right rear wheel. Foyt. And here go his championship aspirations. A cloud of dust being a cloud of doom for the Burley Texan seeking his 5th national championship.
And he looked like he's jumped out and running back to the pits in the hopes that he might get him one of those backup cars.
Is Al Miller wondering whether A.J.'s going to come over and say something, and right past the service truck, and it's a long haul back to the pits. What a startling development here in this 300-mile race. A.J. Foyt looking for a 5th championship out of it, and now Roger McCluskey passes the leader, Dan Gurney. McCluskey's the new leader as Gurney drops to 2nd in action going into turn number 9. Roger McCluskey, who started 7th, is now out in front by the slimmest of margins here. Gurney in 2nd place. McCluskey, the new leader, and we'll be back for more of this exciting National Championship Indianapolis car race after this message. McCluskey, car number 12, the new leader of the Rex Mays 300, and Dan Gurney, number 48, a close 2nd. And now A.J. Foyt completes the nearly half-mile run from the crash scene to the pit area. And it's a double disappointment for A.J. For car number 4, the Jim Hurtubise Eagle is out of the race with mechanical trouble. What's he going to do, Roger?
Well, it's difficult to say, but there ought to be at least 3 automobiles available to him. Of course, Roger McCluskey and Bobby Unser, Jerry Grant are all members of the Goodyear team, and I would imagine that he could have any one of those automobiles.
Well, it's almost halfway, and the pit stops will be coming up shortly, so we'll soon see as this race keeps unfolding at high speed. Here's Foyt now talking to one of Jerry Grant's pit crew, and Mario Andretti's crew chief, Clint Warner, to the left, is an interested listener. And now that's Jack Beckley, Roger McCluskey's crew chief, being addressed by Foyt.
And here comes McCluskey into the pits, kind of slow for the leader.
I should think, and we'll see now whether Foyt gets the ride or not. He's the leading driver now, Roger McCluskey, car number 12. And he starts to get out of the car. He had his shoulder harness undone already, and Foyt about to go in. So a dramatic change here in the Rex Mays 300 with A.J. Foyt moving in place of Roger McCluskey and Mario Andretti, the other challenger for the championship, right behind.
This is going to scramble those points again, but it's going to be a very interesting battle from here on, because actually A.J. can only get a percentage of the points won by this automobile.
It's going to take an actuary to figure out the championship battle here. And there goes Foyt on his way back into the race. Andretti, fuel oiled up after his mid-race pit stop, heads for the track. And here are the standings. Dan Gurney, car number 48, the leader. Bobby Unser in car number 6, second. And in third place is now Jerry Grant in car 78. A.J. Foyt driving for Roger McCluskey in car number 12.